Looks like it's another beautiful day and welcome back to my channel. If you want more Battlefield 6 content, be sure to subscribe. If you returned, you should know that Battlefield 6 reveal is getting closer day by day. And with more games coming out, Battlefield 6 will need to be pretty strong. We're gonna be looking into today how Battlefield 6 could potentially end up looking like, taking inspiration from Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Now, I'm pretty sure with the modern setting we have available, we will be seeing a lot of improvements that weren't in Battlefield 4 or just simply weren't available at that time. This makes and gives Battlefield 6 a huge advantage over its previous games. Let's take a look at art of Robert Sammelin, concept art director at Embark Studios, which worked for Battlefield 4. We're gonna start off with the most simple thing, multiplayer, and then we're gonna be looking into the campaign. Now, it's very important to note that this could be what we should be seeing. Battlefield 6 will have one of the biggest maps so far, and this is what the maps could look. Now, there's two possible reasons of what map designs we could see. We could either see big maps like Warzone, which are very much empty and don't offer a lot of detail outside of a few buildings. We could see some empty, abandoned Chinese buildings like we did in Battlefield 4, or we could see a fully detailed Battlefield map in modern cities where population was evacuated. Considering we saw so much potential with what was Siege of Shanghai, I am definitely expecting a map in China. Now, it's very much possible that this will be a map with a huge city, as Battlefield 1 couldn't feature this as it was basically a no man's zone fighting, and Battlefield 5 just didn't have the same taste as I expected. Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 offer exactly what fans need. Considering we saw a huge Battlefield naval map in every single game almost so far, it's no doubt that we're gonna have a huge 128 players naval battle, and that's a pretty good thing. You can even refuse to play it if you wish. This has to be one of the greatest possible maps we're gonna be getting. Now, if you don't like naval battles, I didn't prefer them that much, I think we could definitely be seeing something more lively. So for example, in city battles, if anyone remembers the Battlefield 4 maps, the Battlefield city battles played really well, and I definitely think you should consider how important city battles actually are for the Battlefield franchise. They offer something Call of Duty and other games actually never have. And considering how big the new Frostbite engine is, it's definitely possible that we're gonna be seeing more destruction in the new Battlefield games. It's very much possible, which no YouTuber has ever talked about before, is how the weather changes during the gameplay. So it might be a night or day mode, but what you also might see is weather changes. So for example, it's either raining or it's not. We saw this in Battlefield 4, but now it can be used a lot more because it's 2020. Now, with more players in the way, we could be seeing more vehicles, and not just vehicle types. I'm talking about maybe 2 to 4 actual vehicles at the same time for each team. So that could be potentially 8, simple air type vehicles, and then we have, 8 versus 8 tanks, and this just makes it a more huge, large-scale futuristic type of battle. This is an image that could present what could happen. Considering DICE has so many possibilities, now that it's in current gen, we could also be seeing some riots in the campaign. Now, it's very much possible that in multiplayer, we might see some more AI bots, or just more bots in general. And they don't mean to necessarily be in the game or gameplay, they could be potentially in the background. What I'm referring to is potential riots, or immigrants for that matter, that could be in the background. I think this will help you out a lot, but what I noticed with Battlefield 5 games is not that all buildings are enterable for that matter. So for example, in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, you couldn't enter all the buildings you wanted, or the doors were simply locked or closed behind in any manner, shape or form. With the new PS5 coming out, it can actually handle a lot more stress on the console itself. So we could be seeing a lot more open areas that have potential to make it big in Battlefield. Now, do I think that is the right way? I definitely do think so. Especially if a Battle Royale does come out, it could help us a lot. I do not think they will go for the simple approach of the Taliban versus the enemy. It could be a large-scale World War III futuristic battle that we might be seeing, again with modern weapons, but could include some drones. I think this is a pretty good idea because, well, Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 were a huge success. Now Battlefield 5, on the other hand, was not so much. With the player numbers increasing and more friends being out there during the quarantine, I definitely think we could be getting 6-player squads. And with the 4-player squads we had before and 5-player squads we have now, 6-player squads could be actually happening. 6 players in Battlefield 6, 6 players to play with. I think it's definitely an improvement than we had from before, and with 128 players, with playing with 6 people that, 2 of them are snipers, 2 of them are medics, and 2 of them are supports, this could definitely be happening. Now, no love for the engineers. It's pretty important to note that there is actual no destructibles, that each block could be destroyed by its own. What I mean by that is when you destroy a building, it's sometimes pre-generated. What if I could tell you that, just like in some games, you could destroy each piece of the building? That would simply be amazing. And I'm not talking about destruction in Bad Company 2 or Battlefield 5, where you destroy a building, it just collapses and that's it. I think the buildings should be collapsed in their own way. Let's also talk about the airstrikes or the support you're getting when you're losing. If you're gonna be playing on the new PS5, it's very much to note that you're not always on the winning team. And that's exactly what should happen. They will probably include the commander mode and the new airstrikes or something like that to give you the advantage. Just like the Behemoth in Battlefield 1, we should be getting something similar as air launchers or some sort of support. And I'm not talking about those kits in Battlefield 1 that don't change much if the enemy is winning. I'm talking about huge drones or airstrikes coming in for the enemy with no mercy. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely think the new destruction could be improved very much. I'm not saying the Battlefield destruction is bad by any standards, but from what the new games have, it definitely has a lot of potential to improve. And since Battlefield 4 is already 6 years old, we could be seeing something much more spectacular we never saw before, and this was confirmed by DICE. Are you hyped for Battlefield 6 reveal? I certainly am, and I definitely recommend you to subscribe for more Battlefield 6 content.